Hello, geeks, and welcome back to FanGeek'd. I'm Miranda, and I'm joined by my Whovian co-host, Emily.
Hi, guys. How are you?
It's now our second season of the podcast. Yahoo! And we are so excited to be back after a bit of a break. I mean, I think the last
Bit of a year-long
episode I
break.
put out was in May. So it's been a couple months.
Last year.
May of last year. So
yeah.
I'm super excited. Today's episode is a discussion where we will dive into the New Year's special, Revolution of the Daleks.
Yes.
After one heck of a year.
After 2020, kind of.
Yeah. I am
Yeah.
so excited
2020 was 2020.
Finally get to dive back into some Who. We've been patient since last series ended in March. Shall we dive in? Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay, I also want to make the announcement for this video in particular that this episode will be on both Spreaker and YouTube. If you would like to listen to us on
episode.
Download the Spreaker app and search for FanGeek'd. That's FanGeek''. And Spreaker is Spreaker. If you would like to see our beautiful faces as we break down this episode with a bunch of visual aids that I will add later, you can jump to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/FanGeek'd. Same spelling. As I said earlier.
Yes.
I have the summary from IMDb. Shall I read it?
Okay, yes.
The upcoming festive special will see the return of one of the Doctor's biggest and most feared enemies, the Daleks. The Doctor is locked away in a high-security alien prison, isolated, alone, with no hope of escape. Far away on Earth, her best friends, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham, have to pick up their lives without her. But it's not easy. Old habits die hard. Especially when they discover a disturbing plan forming. A plan which involves a Dalek.
Or as other people call it, a drone.
So, some fast facts about this episode. This episode is, of course, as mentioned in the title and the summary, filled with Daleks. In case you didn't know about it earlier. Emotions and lots of adventures as the TARDIS team is separated but soon comes together. And I literally wrote on my notes, to fight the blasted Daleks. This holiday special is unfortunately the final episode for Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole as Graham and Ryan respectively, but we will get into that later.
Yes.
Guest stars. So, of course, as announced 3 months ago, at least, it was the anniversary of the show itself, the show's birthday, when they announced that John Barrowman will return as Captain Jack Harkness. Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Known for appearing in New Who from 2005 to 2008, last appeared in Fugitive of the Daleks in Series 12 for a very brief surprise cameo. And then, of course, Nick Briggs, as the Dalek voice, has been voicing the evil Pepper Potts since 2005. That's a long time.
Wow.
Then, of course, we have the return of Chris North as Jack Robertson. I think I literally wrote in my notes from the beginning, I literally have him as Robertson, so I could just have Jack as Jack. Because there's two Jacks. My brain was like, nope. Captain Jack is Jack.
I didn't figure that out.
The other one is Robertson. Screw that.
I have him as Spider Dude.
Well, that works.
From the previous episode.
Spider Dude.
Spider Dude.
Known for Sex and the City, Law and Order, Sex and the City 2, and of course Doctor Who, with his last appearance in Arachnids in the UK in Series 11 in 2018. And then, of course, our guest stars of Harriet Walter as Joe Patterson, known for Sense and Sensibility, The Young Victoria, and Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and Babel. I'm not kidding. I think it's Babel. I'm just going to say Babel. And then Nathan Stewart Jarrett, wow, that's a long name, as Leo Rugazi, known for Misfits, Dom Hemingway, Utopia, and Mope.
Yes.
Okay, so is there anything else you would like to add, fast facts wise, before we dive in?
The producer of this episode is Alex Mercer. The director was Lee Haven Jones, and it was written by, of course, the infamous Chris Chibnall.
Chibby.
Chibs.
Mr. Showrunner. And then, of course, music is always by Sagan Akinola. Alrighty.
Yes.
So, we start off this episode at GCHQ, directly from Resolution. We're like jumping straight into the end of Resolution. I'm like, wow. Okay, we're jumping all the way in. Okay. So we start at GCHQ, or the Government Communication Headquarters, and our encounter with the reconnaissance Dalek from that episode before it explodes. Goes boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then we immediately jump, as the episode says, 367 minutes later. Very specific. Yeah. To the remnants of the Dalek being sent off to Depository 23 by one of the employees in a big black truck. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay. I think I'm supposed to sympathize with you. Do I know you? Like, the first couple minutes when it jumps, I was just like, okay. This is interesting.
Yeah, this person that's driving.
Okay, we're getting a pre-title sequence. This has got to relate to something. They always relate to something.
Wait, can I stop for tea?
Can I stop for a cuppa?
Like, can I stop for tea?
Only because it's you. Yeah. So he stops at a highway tea stop for a cuppa, which somehow turns out to be poisoned.
Yeah, I was sleeping. I was like,
yeah, I wasn't sure.
Are you dead? Are you poisoned? Are you just like tranquilized for, I don't know. But I guess he died.
So then the person who served him the tea closes down the shop, in air quotes, drags him slowly out of frame, and then shoves him into the truck with the Dalek. And that's all before the titles roll.
Yeah. Just like, okay.
But how excited were you to see John Barrowman in the titles? Because that's very rare that, guest stars get their names in the stinking titles.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I got excited because I was like, yee! And I'm like, okay, John's probably flipping out too because he's watching this when it's airing at home.
Yeah.
Aha! Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
So
yes.
I literally called this section a sinister plan. Because it's a sinister plan. Meanwhile, we jump to a breakfast meeting between three people. We soon learn it's Leo, Joe, and our good friend and Trumpian sound-alike, Mr. Jack Robertson. I literally wrote that in my notes. It seems like they're speaking of some acquired business. It's like the first time we meet the two guest stars. I'm like, what did you think of Leo and Joe when you first met them? I thought I thought they were a little interesting at the beginning.
Yeah, Leo was very, this is my first job. I'm trying to appeal to authority. Please love me.
Please, pretty please. Harriet mentions.
And then Joe was just like,
yeah.
I'm not getting paid enough for this, pretty much.
Can I get a raise, please?
Like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Just get on with the project.
Mm-hmm. Harriet also mentions a toxic waste scandal, hearkening back to our very first meeting with Mr. Jack Robertson, with Robertson in Arachnids in the UK. The toxic waste scandal.
I was thinking that was the toxic waste was the spiders in that home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a slight conversation, Jack mentions that Leo has something revolutionary to show him.
Yeah.
They walk over to the simulated rally going on between police officers and rioters. Pure simulated chaos. Inserts
Oh,
out
I
of
didn't realize that was simulated.
He mentions in like the
Okay.
first like 2 sentences it's the simulation. I'm like, oh, okay. I seriously thought this was real for 2 seconds, and then you say it's a simulation. And I'm like, oh, never mind. Suddenly, out of the smoke, the revolutionary technology appears, and it's a Dalek, but not quite a Dalek, because it has a water cannon.
Yeah.
And CS
A water
gas that's
cannon?
not CS gas, and a whistle, because who doesn't not want a whistle? and then like the next scene, they're talking like they're looking inside the Dalek to look at the robotics, and Robertson literally turns to Joe and goes, "It's the security equivalent of an iPhone." Are you sure about that?
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, and Mitch Patterson is very impressed, and then about 2 seconds later wishes to speak to Robertson privately, which
Yeah.
immediately got me suspicious. I'm like, okay, you want to talk to him privately? What does that mean?
That's the equivalent of "Can I speak to your manager?"
Yes. It turns out that they are both working together. She informed him about the GCHQ Dalek. He stole the parts. Built this Dalek out of it and wishes to spread the security drones all over England. That's a great idea.
Which sounds like a great plan unless any part of that previous Dalek is embedded in there. Then you get
spaghetti-o.
Yeah. No.
Meanwhile, in a Jadoon prison, straight out of The Timeless Child, children, the Doctor is stuck in a Jadoon prison and is bored out of her skull. Literally, the first shot is her looking at the bars. I'm like, you poor thing, you must be bored.
Like, okay, Jodie in jail eats crappy breakfast. That's my first note.
The look on her face as she eats it, like, this is nasty. No, I literally laugh at, good morning, camera 38. Good morning, camera 37. Good morning, camera 38. I'm just going to say good morning to you because I have to, for the sake of my sanity. Exercise is literally heading up to the exercise area, which is the shot that we saw in the trailer with all of the cages. That's their exercise. You know, like how it is in a jail when you have like the yard.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice any of the Easter eggs at all in that prison yard? There were so many monster Easter eggs. It was insane.
Oh, yeah, that just went right over my head. But
and a little bit of Whovian lore. The monsters we see in this first shot of the jail scene are a weeping angel. Hence why she says, "Good morning, Angela." That was a weeping angel. An ood, a sycorax, which is from 2005, when David Tennant's Doctor loses his hand in a sword fight to a sycorax, and a pting. Tiny, you can't eat the cage. Trust me, I've tried.
Yes, I did see that one.
And then back in her cell, the Doctor prepares for bed. And I literally love that whole story time thing she does to herself. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were practically normal. She gets about that far.
Yeah.
Tap, 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 tap. On the wall in her cell. She's like,
yeah.
What was that?
What? Oh my god, who's that?
Who was that? It looks like she's like
imagination.
It looks like she's like this with the wall. And then there's the stay strong, people are waiting for you line from the trailer. And then we jump to back to Earth with our companion friends who are stuck on Earth without the doctor.
Yes.
And our first shot is of Graham and Ryan stepping into a house.
Which, of course, turns into a laboratory type
It's the TARDIS
situation.
from The Time as Children. The Roots TARDIS that they got sent home on.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The one that looks like a house. Okay.
Yeah. And because the chameleon circuit's working. Otherwise, it would look like a cylinder, which is kind of lame.
Yeah.
Just a random cylinder in the middle of a cul-de-sac. This is normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, Yaz has been sleeping inside of the TARDIS for months to try and figure out how to get back to the doctor. Poor Yaz. I felt so bad for her at the very beginning of all the post-its. She was trying so hard.
Oh my god,
I felt so bad. I was like, oh, yes, it's okay.
Perfectionism, honey. I feel that too.
Yeah. And apparently it has been 10 months since the companions have last seen her. And they miss her.
Yeah.
A lot. Graham and Ryan show Yaz a new brewing mystery. Footage of the simulated rally with the Dalek and Jack Robertson overseeing everything. And they're going to try and talk to Robertson by themselves. I wonder how that's going to go.
Good idea, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Robertson and Harriet are meeting privately in some remote forest. Totally not a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this, but Harriet's about to become the next prime minister. So, what?
Oh, yeah. Totally just have the next prime minister.
Well, I would like you to speak up the security drones, please. Can you please speed it up now? Thank you. Also, with no cost to the UK taxpayer, please.
Totally. Don't cost us anything, but speed it up like 5 times.
Yeah. Speed it up nationwide and no money to the taxpayers, please. Thanks. And then he's a little apprehensive at first, but she gives him a little money incentive because Robertson likes a little bit of money. And then on his way back to the offices, Robertson encounters our faithful companions.
Yes.
Takes him a hot minute to remember who the heck they are.
Yeah. And then security's called.
The whole thing about the Dalek. What Dalek? What's a Dalek?
Because to him, they're security drones.
Yeah. Uh-huh. But I love at the end, when they're walking off, Graham's like, okay, how the heck does she do this?
I don't know.
Okay, the next section I entitled Operation Breakout.
Operation Breakout of Jail.
Back in the Jadoon prison, the doctor is back to her normal routine, as we've seen earlier, with another Easter egg in the form of the silence. So, Whovian Lore are, they were first created in, I believe it was 2012. It was for Series 6. The 2-parter set in Utah, which they filmed in Utah. But there are really creepy creatures that they look disgusting, and they are they make you forget them the instant you turn away from them. So the instant you turn away, you immediately forget they were there. It's creepy.
That sucks.
Hence why she says, oh, I forgot you were there. That's a reference to, and then just when all hope is lost, what about this face? Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
And just like that, the 13th Doctor and Captain Jack are reunited. The interaction between the two of them is so cute.
He's like, yeah, I committed like 7 different crimes to get in here, get you out of here.
Yes. Yes. I mean, the look on her face, she's like, Jack. Oh my God.
Wait, hi. Oh my gosh, yes.
I knew you look better in these colors than me.
Wait. That was my next funny moment. Wait, have you had work done?
You can talk. And then Jack prepares to break the Doctor out using the breakout ball. The breakout bubble.
Yes.
That was so cute. And then once they get to a specified location, Jack finds his vortex manipulator, of course. Cheap and nasty time travel.
Yes.
And then they hug. They hug. Yay. And then they both go poof. And then we jump back to Earth. It's like we're constantly jumping in the first like 20 or so minutes. Like there's so much jumping. I'm like, what? Where are we going? So we're back to Robertson and Leo, as Harriet has now become the head of the party and the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
Robertson and Leo are talking about benefits of this, how production of the security drones is going. And then Leo decides to show Robertson something he's been growing. Ew.
Yeah.
I kind of had a suspicion that was not going to be going to plan. As soon as I realized what he was cloning, I was like, oh no. He built a Dalek. That's not good.
He built a what?
A Dalek. That's what they look like out of their shells. The thing he was growing, that is a Dalek out of their shell. It is
They looked vaguely similar to the spider creatures in that one episode.
Yeah.
Was that the same thing?
Ew. No. The arachnids, those were actual spiders.
Okay, but they were different than that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Daleks are like aliens with a brain on top of their head. It looks absolutely disgusting. And Robertson tells Leo to incinerate it. But guess what happens when he opens the box in front of the incinerator?
Don't open the box, dude. Just put the entire box into the fire.
As soon as he opened the lid, I was like, oh boy. We're going resolution again. Here we go.
He jumps onto his back and
Leo
corrupts him.
It's a puppet. If you ended up watching Resolution, half of the episode is one of the main characters becomes a puppet of a Dalek. Hence why you see the tentacle in the back of the neck. It's hijacking her brain. So it's in charge of her body or of his body. It's creepy. And then we jump back to the Doctor and Jack in the TARDIS, which apparently has been taking a cat nap in the 10 months. And as the Doctor's walking around trying to wake her ship up, as Jack and the Doctor update each other about what's been going on since the last time we saw each other, talking about the Cyberium and how well that went.
Not so well.
I fixed it. Kind of. Sort of. Hopefully. She sounded so positive there. The whole interaction with Jack and the Doctor about the room. Which basement room? You don't have a room. I had a suite with a cocktail lounge. Oh my God, Jack.
This is the female, maybe in the male version of the Doctor, but not in the female version.
Yeah, in the male version, maybe. Female, not sure. And then she wakes up the ship and then decides, I need to go see my fam.
Yay.
So meanwhile, the companions are sitting at Graham's house at the kitchen table trying to piece together all of the information they have of the case so far. But then Yaz hears a noise.
Yes.
A very familiar noise.
Yes.
The TARDIS appears and the Doctor emerges, happy as can be to see her fam, who all looked shocked to see her. But the doctor doesn't realize it's been 10 months yet. She thinks it's been minutes.
She's a she's a little bit doesn't know how to control time very well.
Yeah. I could totally understand Yaz's frustration though. Haven't seen your friend in 10 months and she just shoves her like, dude, where the hell were you?
You just went poof and didn't tell me, didn't communicate. Hello.
Mm-hmm. They're all distancing themselves from her a little bit, but I'm like, that's kind of tough. So, and then Jack and the doctor try and figure out what's going on. Dalek.
Daleks.
Not good. She does not like the word Dalek. No, thank you. Meanwhile, back to Puppet Leo. We're all of a sudden in Osaka.
Osaka, Japan, yes.
Where the Dalek wants to show him something. And they enter a warehouse to discover that the Dalek's been cloning himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little creepy.
This is my project. This is what I built.
Yeah, and it's a giant tower of green.
Mm-hmm.
With squirmies in it. I think I literally wrote squirmies in my notes to be funny. I'm like, So back on the TARDIS, the doctor's racing around as she tries to track down the Daleks using the TARDIS. And the companions are trying to get to know Jack a little bit better. So they start asking about, like, okay, you seem to understand what's going on with these Daleks. You have a history with them?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
He does. He does.
As you learn, he has to explain that he is immortal because they don't know yet.
Yeah. Like, I died.
He'll die for a couple minutes and then wake back up again. And then he explains the immortality with a really sweet Easter egg. It's partially her fault, partially a friend on hers on Earth called Rose.
Rose. Yes.
But she's trapped in a parallel universe now. So, okay. Whovian Lore time. For my folks who do not know who Rose Tyler is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a helping hand. Rose Tyler is a former companion of the 9th and 10th Doctors who took in some of the TARDIS to become Bad Wolf and brought Jack back to life. She became trapped in a parallel universe and used a dimension cannon to jump between dimensions to see the Doctor again. She was last seen as Rose in The End of Time Part 2, but the current timeline in Journey's End with the Metacrisis Doctor. But we have also seen Billie Piper, the actress who plays her, in the 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor, as Bad Wolf, aka The Moment. It's very confusing. Yes. But a lot of people on Twitter were theorizing, like, okay, so has she gotten over Rose now? Because usually she has quite a strong reaction to the mention of her name, but no response.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, does the Doctor have a significant relationship with Rose? Or
it's been theorized, and I think it's canonized with 10 for sure, that they were at one point in love with each other before they got separated. So that's why usually in later seasons, whenever Rose was mentioned, 10 always had such a strong response to that name, like, oh, hell no. Don't you dare.
Yeah. But 13 could have just forgotten, in the midst of her many lives.
Maybe. Or maybe the time in prison might have changed it. So in the middle of all that, the Doctor finds the Daleks in Osaka, tracks it to Osaka.
Yes.
And Jack agrees to investigate the DNA portion, and Yaz is like, I'll go with you.
Yes. I'm with you. Okay.
And then that scene in Robertson's office, and he literally is like, he's on the phone. Hang on a second. What the hell? You're back? That whole scene with the Doctor. He's literally like, oh crap.
the hell, man? Yeah.
Yeah. And then he
And
decides to show the security drones to the doctor himself. She's not happy.
yes, he said he would.
He is not happy.
3D printing security drones, basically. Which, oh my.
Yep. She's like, nope. Why are you making Daleks? No.
Nope.
But the Osaka, when the Osaka facility's mentioned, Robertson's like, what? What facility? I don't know what you're talking about.
What the hell?
What?
Because this was the drone's creation, not Robertson's. So he
Yes.
doesn't know. Yeah.
So meanwhile, while the half the fam is with Robertson, Jack and Yaz are off to Osaka to investigate the facility. And Jack is explaining where he comes from in time to Yaz. I don't think you realize this, but yes, Jack is from the 51st century.
Yeah. Isn't that just the same as the Doctor?
No, Jack's from technically from the 51st century in time. On the Beauchene Peninsula. I think he mentioned it like briefly, but there's a whole storyline of the Beauchene Peninsula and how important that is to Jack as a whole and to his character. But the whole discussion between Yaz and Jack about the Doctor, how sweet was that?
Yeah.
I love that whole quote though. I was just like, oh yes, Jack, we needed this so bad.
We needed like a solid wise moment, because Jack is normally just like
he is good. He is
funny,
good for some wise stuff.
Blah.
Yeah, he's a good supportive person for sure.
Yes.
But Jack completely understands where Yaz is coming from. He has been there multiple times.
Yes. But he just says, how many people get to meet the Doctor and travel with her? Enjoy the journey.
We're the lucky ones, Yaz. Enjoy the journey while you're on it, because the joy is worth the pain. Preach it. And then the hilarious interaction. Are you feeling insecure?
Opens the door with the
because you seem to need a lot of praise. Do I?
Thank you. That's all I get is thank you. Are you feeling insecure? Because you seem to need a lot of praise.
Do I? Once the two enter the facility,
yes,
thanks to Jack's squareness gun making a grand return. Yes, I haven't seen that in eons. They encounter the ginormous green tower of Daleks. And Jack immediately recognizes what this is, and he's like, uh-oh.
Oh, no.
And then we
this
start...
is not an agricultural plant.
Yep, this is not an agricultural plant. And then we jump to the Prime Minister beginning her long-ass speech. Unveiling the security drones, but it takes so long. And then back to the Doctor. The whole scene with Robertson in the TARDIS.
Oh my god.
But he's so confused, and Ryan's like, are we just gonna tell him? And Graham's like, nope.
Nah, just let him figure it out. Let him be confused.
Yeah. And then he's acting innocent, like, I don't know what a Dalek is. Insert pissed off Jody. Oh, you want me to tell you what a Dalek is? Bitch, let me tell you.
Yeah. Dalek means hate, and let me go into this.
Never underestimate a Dalek. Ever.
Oh, never.
Yeah. And then more unveiling and rolling out nationwide a solution to the security problem. Probably not the best security idea.
Yeah, seems great, but no.
And alleviating pressure on police.
That's not going to alleviate any pressure. That's going to create more pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole scene with Yaz and Jack in the tower when they're placing those little bombs. And then the Dalek jumps on Jack's face. Ha ha!
Oh, I literally said, like, fuck. It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
I just swear, but I was like, oh
Well,
my God.
I noticed one of them was starting to crawl out of the glass, and I was like, uh-oh, this
Ah,
isn't good. And my dad
no.
was watching with me, and he goes,
Yeah.
this is not good. And then it jumps on Jack's face, and he goes, yep, not good. And then after Yaz tries to pull the one off of Jack's face, another one jumps on her, which is the shot we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then Jack manages to shoot them down with this squareness gun.
Yep.
I'm impressed that actually made a good shot.
Yeah, some sort of laser gun gets him off, and great. Ugh.
And then the drones appear alongside the Prime Minister, glowing a blue Tron color.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if these are going to be great security drones at the border. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
And then we jump to the TARDIS for an absolutely adorable moment between Ryan and 13. That little scene of the two of them talking, so cute.
Mm-hmm. He's like,
but I love 13's like, I'm sorry. She looked so sad. I was like, aw, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I can't figure out time.
Yeah. And then the whole thing, like,
doctor was...
no, you know what? I'm gonna nag you until you tell me about what happened in the Timeless Children. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna nag you till you tell me.
Yeah, like I'm not taking it anymore. Like you gotta tell me.
I'm not taking any of this crap. No. But the whole little talk about new can be scary. I think that was. Do you think that was a little foreshadowing of later?
Totally.
When we're done with this Dalek problem, you find out about your own life. Confront the new or the old, and then everything will be all right. Will it? No doubt. Thank you, Ryan, for being my friend. Thank you for being mine. Always. I was just laughing. The first time I heard always, I was like, great, this is a Harry Potter reference. Thanks, Chibs.
Yeah, the British gotta have all the reference.
You know there's gonna be references galore. And then back in Osaka, Jack hears the vort noise. He gets so excited.
Oh, I've missed that sound.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I've heard that one before.
I've missed that sound.
Yay. Yes.
And then,
TARDIS
meanwhile,
appears.
Ryan's like, you still gonna tell him? No. Graham's like, nope. Still not. I just loved how confused he was. He was just like, what? What? How does this work?
Yeah.
When he steps out after they traveled, he's like, how? You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then they come across Leo Puppet. I literally called him Leo Puppet.
Yes, yes, that's a good name for him. He explains that him, or rather the Dalek, built the plant and used Jack Robertson's systems to build an army. Essentially.
Yep. And the puppets he used, that was gross. What he did with the puppets.
Oh, was that the bit about him feeding them liquid humans?
Yes.
Ugh.
Ew.
Oh. I mean,
and then the entire time they're in Osaka. And then the entire time they're in Osaka, did you notice the lights changing? It took me a second viewing to realize the lights were changing. And until Yaz pointed it out, and I was like, oh, I have noticed that. That is quite weird. They were green when we started, and then by the time Yaz points it out, they're purple.
Yeah.
Like, huh.
It's like, what? I don't know what's happening with the lights. And they were talking about UV light or something, so I'm like, wait, are they all going to get like burned or radiation or cancer of some sort?
Not quite. And as I suspected, security drones were not that great of a security. Because guess what happened? The Daleks took
started killing
control of
people.
the flippin' shells. Great.
They started exterminating.
Yeah. And they don't and it doesn't take them long to find the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a
we
bit of
gotta
a
find her
problem
first.
with the batteries. Not batteries, Sweet Pea.
No, that's the hold on system.
Because
That's
the
messed
color
up.
changed from blue to red.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah. And then the doctor comes up with a plan on how to wipe them out. So you realizes that they're all built based on the reconnaissance Dalek from Resolution, and the only way to wipe them out is to find other
Is to bring in more
Daleks.
Daleks.
Specifically, the Bronze Daleks
The
from
Doomsday Daleks,
2005.
which are like the
Searching
most destructive Daleks.
Yep, who are searching for a signal in the vortex like sharks in the water. That is quite a creepy analogy, though. The like sharks in the
Ugh.
water. I was like, Insert the
Nope.
beloved Bronze Daleks as they search for the recon. It's Dalek Civil War beginning.
Yes.
That whole scene where the TARDIS is materializing on the building as the ship appears, and you just see so many Bronze Daleks flying out like, holy crap.
Holy shit. Holy crap. Oh my.
Yeah. And they're starting to wipe out these space impurities like a space Hitler. I mean,
yes.
these SAS Daleks are not taking no for an answer.
Yeah.
Screw you, bye.
Humans, hide in your house and don't come out until. Yeah.
Well, the recon Daleks are shooting humans, and then the SAS Daleks are shooting the Daleks that are shooting the humans.
Yup.
The whole scene with Robertson and the doctor on the roof. That's the thing about Daleks. For a race born out of mutation, they're pretty obsessed with purity, and she's staring straight at him, like,
Mm-hmm.
you see your problem? And then Robertson goes, screw that.
You done effed up, man. Done messed up.
No, Robertson says, screw that. I'm not going back in the TARDIS. I want to go confront them myself.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go try to schmooze them into making them work
I
with me.
immediately facepalmed at that. I was just like, oh, Robertson.
Oh, my God.
That is a really stupid move.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can try.
Stupid move.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I love once they're back on the TARDIS. Time to activate Phase 2. How would you like to board a Dalek ship? Can I blow it up? 2 seconds of the doctor asking that question. Jack's like, can I blow it up? Pretty please? I would like
Yes,
to blow up a
please.
ship, please. He got so excited. Just the look on Jack's face, like, I can blow a ship up. Yay!
Yay! I can blow things up.
I don't know, but the look on Yaz's face when Graham and Ryan go, okay, we'll go with Jack. What?
Hello?
Don't die, please.
Please don't.
So she looked so worried there. I was like, it's okay. It's okay. Jack's okay.
Be fine.
You're fine with
It's
Jack.
okay.
You're good. That
You're
whole
good.
scene with Graham and Ryan on the ship, Graham's starting to hype Ryan up, and Ryan's like, don't do that. He just walks off.
Grandpa trying to be cool.
No.
Like, nah. Sorry. Grandpa, we're not
Attempted
cool yet.
fist bump? Nope.
Okay. Leave me hanging. All right.
Mm-hmm. But I was thinking of that whole scene on the bridge between the Bronze and the Recon Daleks. I'm like, that is so much sass. I'm like, Briggs must have had a stinking field day because he had to voice every single one of those Daleks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Daleks.
You are impure. We are
That's
not
like
impure.
that's hard. That's a lot of voice work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just one tone. It's like there's inflections. There's higher
Well,
pitches and lower pitches. And
the Doctor Who put out a video of Briggs explaining how he makes the Dalek voices. It's a voice modulator that makes the Dalek voice. He just has to raise or lower the pitch of his voice as he's talking, and it makes the Dalek voices because he does it live on set when they're filming, so that the humans can actually hear it. Otherwise, it's just a blinking show with lights. I can't hear the voice. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's like the other people working with props. Okay.
Or, hi, look at this tennis ball on a stick. By the way, this is a blank. What? Yeah. But that whole annoying thing about Robertson's like, you know what? I'm just going to tell you where their signal came from. Screw the Doctor. I'm just going to throw her under the bus.
Totally.
Jack's so pissed off. He's just like, okay.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Yeah.
Talking. This when he's talking to the Daleks and he's saying that he can give them the next planet after they or he can give them planet Earth after they destroy the impurities.
Yes. They have, and by that point they had, because the last one teleported on the ship, had a brief conversation, and then got exterminated.
Yeah.
And then the Daleks, Jack, Ryan, and Graham managed to recapture Robertson. And the Daleks get distracted by a TARDIS.
Yes.
That we think is her TARDIS.
Yes.
Psych.
But she did a whole
It's
switch
not
around.
that. Yep. It was the other TARDIS.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, sorry. You just fell for a game of switcheroo. I won. Oh, by the way, this TARDIS is going to fold in on itself and toss itself into the void. Bye.
Great job. Great job, Doctor. Once again.
Yes. Also, Jack's line. Identify yourself. I'm Captain Jack Harkness, and I'm immortal. Bye. And then the whole Dalek ship exploding is always so satisfying. Watching a Dalek ship explode.
Yeah, more satisfying than a regular ship because it just
and then we jump to
explodes into a million pieces.
Yeah, and then we jump to the fact that Robertson somehow is a hero in all this.
Oh yeah, he totally takes the PR stunt and
hero. What?
Yeah, totally makes it seem like he was destroying the Daleks and saving everybody's lives.
Yep.
Sounds like someone we know. Sounds like a lot of people we know.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true. And then Graham and Ryan decide they gotta go see the doc. We don't really know what's going on, but we think they're gonna talk to her about something.
Yeah.
And then back in the TARDIS, and we're back in Sheffield. Did you like that shot of the flats? That's how we know we're back officially in Sheffield.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Yeah.
Yeah, with all the last shots before we see inside of the TARDIS. It's the block of flats from The Woman Who Fell to Earth that Ryan and Yaz live in.
Yeah.
And then we learned that Jack is back in Cardiff with Gwen Cooper. Whoop whoop. And has decided to stick around on Earth and keep it safe. So for Whovian Lore, for people who don't know, Gwen Cooper is a member of Torchwood 3 in Cardiff, which is an organization used to protect Earth against aliens, which was destroyed in Miracle Day, but has been recently doing... Gwen has been recently doing audiobooks for Big Finish and was last seen on the show in Journey's End in 2008. So she's been recently doing Big Finish audios, but as soon as Gwen was mentioned in the show, Twitter kind of exploded Like, oh my God, is there going to be new
Yeah.
Torchwood? I want new Torchwood. Ah! They love Torchwood.
Yeah.
And also, for people who don't know, Torchwood is an anagram of Doctor Who.
Yes, so it's like a spinoff, kind of.
Yeah, the name Torchwood, if you mix all the letters together, it spells Doctor Who. Genius.
Nice.
That was also the
That's
working
really
name
cool.
for the show back in the 60s. That was the working title of the show. So people didn't know it was actually Doctor Who. It was under the name of Torchwood. And they do this, they do anagrams for all the companions too. When it's top secret and they haven't been revealed yet, they use code names, which are mainly anagrams.
Yeah. Yes. That's why you get some celebrities who like forget their actual character's name or forget the actual name.
They know because they know their
they're
code
just
name because
used
they
to
learned
going
it
by
for
the
like
title.
3 months. Yeah, for Who, you learn it for
Yeah.
about 2 months, and then you get known as your character
Mhm.
name, and then you have to go by your character name and be top and tight-lipped about absolutely everything until everything airs.
Yeah.
That show,
Ugh.
it sucks. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Time to get to the sad part. So the doctor
Ugh.
tries to get her companions excited about the adventure. I just love the whole thing about the meringue.
Like, I'm going to this restaurant with a bunch of meringue.
It's
And
a
everything's meringue,
restaurant.
even
It's not a planet. It's a restaurant. The look of how excited she was. It's like, okay, is everyone ready? Ready. Apparently not. Everyone's ready. Though we kind of saw it coming from like a mile away.
Yeah. I
Ah,
had second thoughts.
Ryan has officially decided to stay back on Earth. Wants to try and keep the planet safe.
Mhm.
Companion
His friends
hug.
need him.
Right, the doctor's
Ugh.
sad that she been locked away, missed the rest of the time with Ryan. Got a very sweet hug. That was so sweet. So you gonna hug me or what?
Yeah. Yeah. And
But the whole
then-
thing about the rest of the companions saying farewell, and she like cheers up within 2 seconds of hugging him, and he's like, "You
Yeah.
got over me fast," and she's like, "2 hearts." It's like 2 hearts, one happy, one sad.
Oh,
Poor Doc.
we all,
And then we learned that Yaz
We all have
decided
2
to
hearts.
stay. Yahoo!
yes.
As we know.
yay.
Well, poor Graham. He's
Yeah.
torn. It's either stay
Yeah.
or go. Stay or go. But he decides
Yeah.
it's time. Was Graham
I'm gonna
harder?
go and
Was
spend.
Graham harder than Ryan, or was Ryan harder than Graham for you? Because this is your
Probably
first
Graham was harder
this is
than-
your first companion departure, so these are always tough. But I was actually
Graham was so much harder than Ryan.
I'm happy it wasn't a death. Because companion deaths
Oh yeah.
suck.
Oh god. Those ones are so much harder. But yeah.
Mine
Graham
was,
was just-
my
I miss his-
my first live companion departure was Clara in Face the Raven. Ouch.
Ugh.
That sucked.
Ugh.
This is the first one where it's actually okay, they're actually leaving on their own terms, like Martha. Thank God.
Yeah. Ugh.
But if
Yeah.
if your first companion departure was like Rose, Donna, Amy, Rory, or Bill, it was death.
Yeah. As a bit.
Or being yanked. It was death or being yanked away. Or losing
Ugh.
your memory. Donna was losing her memory, which sucked.
Ugh.
Like she forgot everything. Because he had to wipe her memory.
No.
It sucked.
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
Graham decided it was spend more time with his grandson and leave the TARDIS.
Mhm.
And then Yaz starts crying. As soon as Graham
Ugh.
decides it's time, did you see Yaz look away for a second? Yeah.
I didn't. Oh.
Yeah. She actually started crying. And then the doctors
Ugh.
too. Did you see the look on her face change too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jody's
Oh my
is a
gosh.
bit more obvious because they cut to it. But
Mhm.
Yaz's was a bit more subtle, but they all got hugs. Yay.
Ugh.
And then right
Yeah.
before they
Who
left,
didn't-
oh wait, special present.
Ah, yes.
The black envelope.
Special present.
Ew.
Wow.
And then
Which
Graham's final
doesn't
words.
seem like anything.
And then Graham's final words before they left the TARDIS.
Doc,
And Doc, I was
I
wrong.
was wrong.
We do get aliens
We
in
do get
Sheffield.
aliens in Sheffield.
Just like in The Woman Who
Yeah.
Fell to Earth, he's like, we don't get aliens in Sheffield. What are you talking about?
We do get aliens.
With that
Oh,
shot
man.
of the Doctor and Yaz right after they leave. Sad face.
Like, why did they have to leave? But also, like, you're still here.
No, but the
Oh, no,
usually
no.
that's the way that's the Doctor's way of processing sadness is I can just go back. I can just go back earlier. Change the timeline. And Yaz is like, no, don't. Just don't.
If I want to fix it, I want to fix everything.
It's
I
okay
wanna
to be
make it
sad.
perfect.
That's a very fitting line. It's
No.
okay to be sad. And then the
Oh,
final
yes.
scene ends on a very bittersweet note with Ryan and Graham, just like how they were at the very beginning, learning how to ride a bike. The two decide that
Yes.
maybe going on adventures with just the two of them, which means that might leave the door open for us seeing them again later. Question mark.
Maybe. Yeah.
We also learn that the gifts the Doctor gave them are psychic papers.
Yes. So they can go on their own adventures.
Oh yeah. And then did you also notice who the ghost was at the very end? When the sun
Oh, it was.
blocks the camera
that
for a
Ruth?
brief second? It was Grace for like 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Oh, Grace.
It was
Oh,
Grace.
Yes, I knew. I was like, oh, is that Graham's wife?
But
Oh.
I love. Are you okay? Yeah. Sorry, just the sun in my eyes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then
It's okay
if you
to
watched
cry,
it when it
boys.
aired, you got like a 5-second stay tuned for a companion reveal. I was like, wait, what? Companion reveal? What now? Because
Oh,
apparently,
man.
before the episode aired, they had filmed this companion reveal scene a few days prior to the episode airing.
Oh.
And they just inserted it in on air date.
Wow.
So we're getting a brand spanking new companion. Okay,
Oh
so
my gosh.
it cuts to some random bloke reading somebody's horoscope. I literally quoted it because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
The horoscope for the year: Aries. Blue will be important, and so will the letter D. Lucky number is 13. Be prepared for action, and whatever hurdles come your way, just remember, it's not the end of the world. Okay, how many references to Doctor Who are you going to toss in there?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Blue, D, 13.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Another bloke shuts the door of the truck and turns around to reveal that it's John Bishop, who will be joining the TARDIS team as Dan. Man, oh man, I've been doing my
Ooh.
research. Ooh, we're going to have an accent to get used to.
Oh my.
Let's just say it's a very, very thick Liverpoolian accent.
It's very, very
Gonna be thick.
English. Okay.
Yeah, it's a regional accent, kind of like how it took us a second to get used to Jodie's. We're used to it now. That's a Yorkshire accent. This is a Liverpoolian accent that John has. It's a very thick accent, so it's gonna take me a second to get used to it. But once I'm used to it, we're good.
Just turn on the subtitles. We'll be good.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure if he's going to be a full member of the TARDIS team or not, because they have been filming since November, but he hasn't been seen on set at all. So we're not sure if he's full-time or part-time, or he might show up halfway through. But that's the end of the episode. So,
Yeah.
yay. That was just what they ended on for me when it aired. I was just like, oh, companion reveal. Okay, cool. Okay, info.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I
Pretty
think
much
I watched it after it aired, so
yeah,
it
pretty
just
much, yeah.
Ryan
I
and
think
Graham
it
just said,
aired.
"A few
It ended
more
with the
tries
bike.
on the bike, and then we'll-"
Yeah, it ended with the bike.
Yeah.
The companion reveal is
Yeah.
a separate video that they posted later on their YouTube channel.
Mhm.
If you want to watch it
A few
on
more
your own
tries, and we'll
terms.
save the world. Yeah.
So what funny moments did you catch besides The jokingly friended at needing a lot of praise.
Oh yeah, and then I think when they were going, like Jody and Jack were running out of the jail, he was like, or she was like, "Did you have work done? Did you get Botox?"
You can talk.
Yeah. I think that was.
You're
that might have
trying
been
to take the
only-
moral high ground? Be grateful.
I was like, I committed maybe 7, maybe 8 crimes. She's like, what the? Hello.
It took me 19 years to get to the cell next to you, by the way.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, I think that was about it. There wasn't that many funny moments in here.
Yeah, it was mainly serious and emotions at the very end. So is there anything else you want to add before we get into final thoughts?
I don't think so. Do
you want to start?
Do
you want to start or should I?
Oh, I think you should start.
Okay, because mine's long.
Okay.
Because you remember, it took me like 4 hours to write everything.
Yes.
So, phew, what an incredible ride. This holiday special was chock full of amazing Easter eggs, special references, and lots of action and emotion. The Jadoon jail was spooky enough, and the inclusion of old monsters was quite a surprise. The long-awaited reunion of Jack and the Doctor was incredibly paced, and I enjoyed all of the action scenes with both Daleks. Because you can't forget both. The reveal of the security drones was quite eerie, as it left Whovians on the edge of their seats for when they would go bad, because you were just like, okay, I'm just waiting for this to go bad.
Yeah.
The addition of the bronze Daleks was a wonderful touch. Chris North as Jack Robertson was a wonderful return, as it made me realize how much of a sleazeball he truly is. He is. Both Harriet Walter and Nathan Stewart Jarrett were wonderful as Joe, Patterson, and Leo, and brought a lot of passion to their roles. It was amazing seeing John Barrowman slip easily back into the role of Captain Jack, and I hope he gets to make more appearances in Series 13. We want him back. We want him back more. And I think he does too. The companions did a great job in their final story as a trio, with great performances by Bradley, Mandip, and Tosin. Jodie did an amazing job as the Doctor, showing both the emotional, angry, and happy sides of her personality. I knew the companion farewell was going to be sad, but it was quite hard seeing how emotional everyone got, especially knowing that Jodie was crying as soon as they wrapped filming, because she mentioned that in an interview. She said she was bereft as soon as they wrapped, which is another way of saying, meh. Chibnall is really coming into his own as a showrunner, and I cannot wait for Series 13. Bravo, Chibnall. Bravo. I don't have a ranking. Yet.
Okay.
I told you mine was long.
No, it wasn't that long.
It looks long on the paper when I'm looking at it.
Paragraph. This show was pretty good, actually. I honestly, it didn't live up to my expectations. Maybe I had higher expectations for it. It was really good though. Like all the different cuts to different scenes, and the characters were all everything was well tied in, and they tied in the Easter eggs, and the season wrapped up really well. But I think the Jejune jail was fun. That was a funny comedic kind of relief scene. And then Jack was a little bit more humble this time, which was nice.
Yes, and nice a little bit less of the sexual innuendos. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because if that's all he's going to be known for, we've got a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Oh man. So, yeah. And then, the companion's leaving. I mean, I don't know. It was disappointing. I thought it was gonna be more sob story, but they just kind of said, "Oh, I'm ready," and just kind of went. It's like, oh, okay, all right, you're just gonna leave, okay. But that was sweet at the end with Ryan and Graham trying to learn how to ride the bike, and he was trying to be a good, grandpa to him. So, yeah.
And then what
I
do you think
overall
your
it ended on a good note?
and what do you think your ranking would be? I ended up doing mine an 8.5 out of 10 because I was just like, it's great, but it's great.
Yeah. On it, I would put mine at a 5. Honestly, I think the other episodes in the season were much better than this one.
It's a matter of preference because some people I think wanted one or both of the companions to die in a way of saying a farewell, but I mean, I get the reasoning that you want them to leave on their own terms because we haven't had that since 2007. It's been a while since
I get that.
Left on their own terms. Okay.
I think I would have wanted them to leave on their own terms anyway, but maybe
or
in a more dramatic fashion. I don't know.
People were also thinking having one die and one leave. Because a lot of people didn't really sit well with Ryan, so they just thought, "How have Ryan die and have Graham leave?" Or one of the channels I was reacting to were theorizing that Ryan die in Graham's arms, like Grace did.
Oh,
and
God.
then Graham leave after that. And I was just like,
Graham's
been through enough.
Graham's already had a lot.
No. He's had Grace die in his arms already.
He
is not doing that again. Hell no.
No.
And then plus that'd be really hard on Jodie too, because I know Jodie can do emotional acting because of Broadchurch. Broadchurch.
Oh my God.
Especially due to the fact that she played the boy who died's mother in the show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she had a lot of acting to do in that show.
Yeah.
So, and okay, so to get ourselves psyched for Series 13, here's what we know so far. They are currently filming. I think they're probably going to resume filming in the next couple of days because they took a break for the holidays, of course. But it sounds like it might be fall of this year for air date. Maybe.
Okay.
Not quite sure.
Yeah.
But so far, we do know that this will be the first all-female TARDIS crew. Yes, and the Doctor.
Woo!
With the addition of Dan. We don't know if he's full-time, part-time, whatever.
What's going on there? Yeah.
And so far, what we do know from set reports, the Centaurans are returning, and the Weeping Angels might be returning. Which is good because we haven't had a good episode with them since The Angels Take Manhattan or Blink. And we need one bad.
I'm excited, but also
they are terrifying.
They're disgusting creatures.
Weeping Angels are terrifying.
Yeah.
And Centaurans, man, oh man, it's been a while. Since series 4,
I haven't seen them
last
yet.
had a Centauran episode. Well, Strax doesn't count. I know he is a Centauran, but he's on our side, so he doesn't count.
Yeah.
But Strax makes me laugh every single time. It would be great to have the Paternoster gang back because we haven't had them in 6 eternities. It's been a while. Anything else before we wrap up?
I think that's it. Thanks so much for listening.
Are you excited for Series 13?
Watching.
Are you excited for Series 13?
I am excited. I don't know what's in store.
I do know it's going to be shortened though. I know the episodes are going to. I know the episode load is going to be shortened, so it's only going to be 8 instead of 10 because they had to cut it due to COVID.
Probably.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be it for today's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in and supporting us. If you want to get in touch, feel free to follow us on our social medias on Instagram and Twitter. For my YouTube friends, it'll be up
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Thanks so much, geeks, and I'll see you next time on FanGeek'd. Bye, guys.